Imagine a world tens of thousands of years ago where icy winds sweep across the Bering Strait, connecting two vast continents. For centuries, we believed this was the beginning of the American story, a frozen land bridge where the first humans crossed into the New World about 13,000 years ago. But what if this story, the one we thought we knew, was far older, more complex, and far more extraordinary? Recent DNA studies are rewriting the timeline. We now know humans entered the Americas not just 13,000 years ago, but more than 23,000 years ago. They arrived long before the ice-free corridor even existed. The first footprints in this land were left far earlier than we ever imagined. What does this mean for our understanding of human history? Could these new discoveries hold the key to unlocking the mysteries of early human migration? The answer, written in the genes of ancient peoples, has upended everything we thought we knew. For nearly a century, the story of the first Americans was seemingly clear. The Clovis people, with their distinctive spear points, were thought to be the earliest inhabitants of this vast continent, arriving around 13,000 years ago. Their tools were found across North America, from New Mexico to Pennsylvania, solidifying their place in history as the first settlers of the Americas. But then came the discoveries that changed everything. New evidence began emerging from sites like Monte Verde, Chile, dating back over 14,500 years, long before the Clovis culture. And then came the DNA, ancient genomes that revealed a more complex and astonishing migration story. DNA found in human remains, from Mexico's underwater caves to Alaska's upward Sun River child, painted a new picture. It revealed that these early peoples didn't just arrive 13,000 years ago, they came far earlier in multiple waves. The story of the Clovis First People began to crumble, replaced by a more intricate and exciting history. And this DNA didn't just rewrite the timeline, it revealed lost populations like the Ancient Beringians, a group who entered the Americas early but seemingly vanished, absorbed into later migrations. The story of the first Americans is far more complex than we once believed. Long before recorded history, a forgotten people set foot on the land we now call Alaska. They were the Ancient Beringians, a group whose existence was uncovered not by artifacts but by their DNA, locked within the bones of a child buried 11,500 years ago. Their discovery opened a new chapter in our understanding of human migration. These people, the first known to set foot in Alaska, left behind little more than their genetic imprint. Their tools and homes may have vanished, but their DNA reveals they were the earliest wave of migration into the Americas, a wave that predated even the Clovis people. Yet, despite their early arrival, the ancient Beringians left a faint mark on history. Their genetic lineage, though still present in modern Native Americans, faded as later waves of migrants arrived. What caused this ancient group to disappear, absorbed by other populations? The answer lies deep within their DNA. Though the ancient Beringians vanished from the historical record, their DNA lives on in the genes of millions today. Their story, once forgotten, is now being pieced together, revealing the resilience and adaptability of the first Americans. But the ancient Beringians weren't alone. New evidence suggests that by 15,000 years ago, humans had already spread far beyond the icy north, pushing deeper into the Americas. In fact, human footprints found in the white sands of New Mexico date back more than 21,000 years, defying what we once thought possible. Imagine that, human footprints left in soft mud over 21,000 years ago, long before the Clovis people. How did these early explorers cross vast distances in such harsh conditions, so much earlier than we thought? The evidence shows they were not only survivors but thriving explorers. Recent discoveries in South America at Monte Verde, Chile, date back over 14,500 years, revealing settlements thousands of miles from their entry point in North America. These ancient peoples spread quickly, settling in environments as varied as the deserts of Peru and the forests of the Amazon. These findings challenge the timeline and suggest a breathtakingly fast migration. How did they move so swiftly across such vast distances? And what drove them to explore these far corners of the continent? As DNA continues to unlock new clues, we are forced to rethink everything. These ancient explorers were not just crossing landscapes, they were laying the foundations of civilization long before recorded history, and their stories are far from over. The journey of the first Americans is not just a story of distant ancestors, it's a story that continues today, etched into the very DNA of modern indigenous communities. Through ancient genomes, Native Americans are rediscovering connections to their past, connections that were once fragmented by history. Imagine being able to trace your ancestry back over 20,000 years to the very first footsteps on American soil. For Native American communities, these discoveries are more than scientific revelations. They are a profound confirmation of ancestral knowledge. Oral traditions that spoke of ancient migrations and origins are now being validated by modern science. For many, it's about more than just uncovering history. It's about reclaiming identity, piecing together a story that was once fragmented by colonization and forced migration. DNA is giving back a history that was nearly lost, bringing the past closer to those who seek it today. As DNA continues to reveal the depth of these ancient migrations, it becomes more than just a tool for understanding the past. It becomes a bridge, uniting today's Native Americans with the legacy of their ancestors, giving voice to the people who first explored and thrived in this vast land. As we stand on the edge of discovery, one thing is clear: the story of the first Americans is far from over. With every new genome, with every fragment of ancient DNA, we unlock more secrets about how early humans shaped the Americas. But we are only just beginning. The more we dig, the more we realize just how much is still hidden. What other ancient groups left their mark? How far back can we push the timeline? And what will future discoveries tell us about the diversity of early human life in the Americas? Each breakthrough leads us closer to unraveling the full story. Perhaps in the caves of the Amazon or the deserts of North America, there are still secrets waiting to be revealed. Secrets that could change everything we think we know about the peopling of the Americas. But perhaps the greatest mystery still lies ahead. What more could these ancient genes reveal about the lives, cultures, and journeys of the first Americans? As we continue to push the boundaries of science, we inch closer to answering the greatest question of all: who were the first to truly call this land home? The story of the first Americans isn't over. It lives on in their descendants, in the land, and in the DNA that's waiting to be uncovered. What will we discover next?